This episode of the MOC Squad was filmed in front of a live, members-only audience. Happy New Year, imagination connoisseurs, and Happy New Year to you, Robert Meyer Burnett, the Viceroy of Verisimilitude. Welcome to 2026.
Well, Roberto, it's great to see you.
Great to see you
2026. It's gonna be an interesting year based on how it's begun.
I know.
For better or for worse, we'll see.
That's where we are. So, and that's where you are, all of you here in the Post-Geek Singularity community. Thank you for joining us this morning. Sorry for the extended hiatus. I think that the holidays got the better of us this year. And so between holiday travels and festivities and all that, we just have not been able to nail down a date for our members-only chats. But we're back now, and we'll try to get into as consistent a schedule as possible, given everything that's going on. So, Rob, I think we've got a good number of folks here waiting for us to join us in the chat. Just a little preamble before we get started, making sure that folks know that when we let you into the chat, you come in and hit the signals or the react button. With the react button, you can raise your hand, and then in the order that I see you on the queue, I will go ahead and let you in the room and have your 7 minutes of engagement with the one and only Robert Meyer Burnett.
That sounds
prettier than it is. And by the way, Rob does have a hard out today at 2 p.m. Pacific time, so do the math in your corner of the universe. So please keep that in mind, because we do have to be out by 2. So think about your question or comment and keep it to that conversation there, so that you are able to get your point across and talk to Rob for the time that you've got. So I'm looking at you.
Looking at me, because I'd never let it.
But I'm looking at Stubble McShay, because he's going to be more of a pain in the ass than usual, complaining about me being hard on the button. So, but it's okay. I can take it. Stubble is my friend. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and let everybody into the room now. So let's go ahead and admit everybody. Welcome, folks. And again, as you come in, you use the react button to raise your hand, and that will get you in the queue, and we will get you started. I am a time dictator, says Stubble McShay. That should be an enemy in Doctor Who, the time dictator. That would be me. And let me go ahead and put you, Rob, on the front seat here. So let me make sure that I get you centered, front and center, so that I can't find. There you are. There's Rob. Good. Here we go. And we have our first chat here today is going to be Mr. Jeff Bingham, long time member. Oh, we got a few more
folks dude?
Coming in. Let me go ahead and Jeff, you should be able to join the chat now. Welcome, my friend.
Hello.
How's it going?
Yeah, sorry I missed out on joining the Midnight Metal New Year's Eve. I guess.
By the time we got to people, I couldn't even function.
Oh, I barely made it past midnight my time. Partly my fault, because I drank too much too quickly.
Yeah, me too. I haven't been drinking. I drank a lot that night.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, I might have prepared a little bit better if I had known what you were planning. Or did you really plan anything? That's the question.
Oh, we didn't really plan anything. It was last minute. You mean the whole? Yeah, it wasn't planned.
Yeah.
I mean, I asked Brett Pierce to hey man, you want to come on our midnight show because you just finished shooting The Wretched Devours? Come on, join us. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Either way, I probably should have spaced out my drinking a little bit better.
So should we all.
Yeah. So, so one of the things that I've noticed ever since the Odyssey trailer dropped, and everyone's bitching about how the costumes are not historically accurate and whatnot. Although some people have pointed out how like the costuming reflects like the sort of mythological based artwork throughout history.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, one of the
I think
things,
a lot of people haven't read
Oh, yeah.
the Iliad or the Odyssey, frankly.
yeah.
I wonder what they're going to say about how the gods are depicted, if they're depicted. Where does that go?
Yeah.
Oh, those
Well,
gods, they're not wearing the right uniforms. They're not wearing the right out. That's not what they look like on Mount Olympus. Come on now.
Yeah. Although what's interesting is that ever since the trailer for the Odyssey came out, at least my film Twitter algorithm has kind of brought back has people rewatching Troy.
Yeah. I mean,
And right.
well, because Troy was, part of Homer's works. And of course, when they made the movie Troy, they made a conscious decision to make it more like a historical movie as opposed they removed the gods from that story.
Which I think is a reason why some of the people's armors look perhaps more historically accurate. Like from what we aside from Achilles definitely mirrors the more mythological look.
Totally.
Yeah.
But I think it just shows a fundamental misunderstanding of what the Iliad and the Odyssey actually are. And I think when people start arguing about the realities of the armor depicted, I start wondering, are you guys aware of the source material and have you read it? And I think it's more arguments like that are more damning than anything else, because I'm like, guys, you got to go back and read these stories if you really want to understand what's going on. I mean, hell, people don't know that there's the same story that we're going to get from Christopher Nolan was told last year, where Ralph Fiennes starred as Odysseus. No one knows that. I mean, like, you can go back and watch that story where he goes back to be with his wife and what happened. I mean, it's so, what I find very frustrating about these kinds of conversations is that a cursory Google search would answer a lot of these questions, or people like, oh, okay. And then when you start looking at these depictions of what the armor is supposed to look like, I can't help but think, it's like that old meme where Superman's looking up and it's gone over your head. It really frustrates me, because it makes me realize that our educational system has failed so many of us. But yeah, I mean, I can understand that if that's what you're looking to do, is make a historically accurate depiction of these events. But are these events, is it even possible? If you're going by Homer's work, is that supposed to be a historical depiction of what actually happened? Because the gods are in the story.
Right. Yeah. But anyway, going back to Troy, one of the things that's kind of been going around, and sort of what I remember from the movie was there's mixed opinions on Brad Pitt's casting as Achilles.
Sure.
And I'm kind of lean towards sort of like he was kind of miscast in the role. I think even Brad Pitt himself said that he wasn't keen on doing Achilles, but it was a situation where they wanted a big star in that role, and they had him under contract vis-a-vis de Havilland Law. Is similar, like the most notable example I can think of in that regard was Ed Norton in The Italian Job. But it did make me think about who I would have cast as Achilles instead in that particular iteration of Troy. Hugh Jackman, for two reasons. First, at that point, he had already proven himself to play that kind of character through Wolverine, right?
Sure.
And number two, perhaps most importantly, same height and nationality as Eric Bana, who played Hector.
Well, I mean, if you want to get look,
Yeah.
I all of those people in Troy are miscast. Really, I mean, every one of them. And it's to me, it's like look, you know, I grew up watching biblical epics, everything from Ben-Hur to The Robe, you know, to all of these things. And they've always been miscast because that's not what people in that area of the world look like at the time.
Well,
So
if you want to go that, I mean,
but I mean,
you know,
but that's the thing when you get into these conversations. Like, I like Brad Pitt as Achilles because he was kind of, but he was otherworldly. Like, he was playing it like almost like he was visiting Earth. So it was kind of, and his tactics were, I mean, the interesting. But I mean, I understand that. I get
within
that.
context of the overall cast they had,
Right.
I feel like Hugh Jackman would have done a better job.
Yeah,
Though,
I mean,
he wasn't as big of a star at the time.
right.
And I think at the time he was busy with Van Helsing, which, Rob, I will say, I know you're not high on that movie.
Oh,
It is the ultimate cheese fest of a movie. And
yeah.
I cannot help but revel in the cheesiness. That's why I love Van Helsing.
Right. Yeah, no, I know. A lot of people like Van Helsing. That was at an era where CG was not as good as it is now, you know, and I just have a problem. It's hard for me to watch that movie in particular was very difficult for me to watch. So
thank you for joining us this morning, Jeff.
Always good to see you, man.
Always good to see you. And I would love to see a Brad Pitt cameo in the Odyssey as Achilles. When they go to there's a part in the Odyssey when they go to the underworld and Odysseus talks to Achilles
right
in the underworld. Wouldn't it be awesome if Brad Pitt did a cameo?
Maybe you will. Maybe you will.
I would love that.
But I mean that's another thing. I don't think it like we had to read the Odyssey, the Iliad and the Odyssey in high school.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the kind of thing where too also Dan Simmons, one of my favorite writers, wrote this epic duology. One is called Ilium and one is called Olympos. Okay. That's all about these aliens recreating that whole era on Mars.
Oh, cool.
And they've recreated all the characters of Homer's epic poems. I mean, the books are wild, but it's more than that. There's artificial intelligence and stuff, but you know, I just, it's so weird when I started seeing people analyze. There was a pretty good video where somebody made an AI video about showing what the armor would look like, and I'm like, yeah, that's not going to work.
Yeah. Plus,
the accurate armor would never work on screen today. You would laugh at the colors.
Yeah, yeah. And it's not historical. It's a legendary tale. It can be whatever it wants.
A legend. I know.
I mean,
but the thing is, that's why I'm like, yeah. Tell me you haven't read the Odyssey.
Yeah.
Without telling me you haven't read the Odyssey.
Right.
I see more and more of that, and it gets more and more frustrating to me.
Yeah.
Because you realize people are making these arguments and they haven't even a Google search.
Right.
Even read the Wikipedia entry.
Yeah.
But nobody's even doing that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's all, the information is all there for you.
I would encourage folks to check a graphic novel adaptation called Odyssey. It's ODY dash and the letter C.
Oh yeah,
it's a sci-fi LGBTQ adaptation of the story. You want to talk about not following the typical adaptation or the typical version. I mean, it's a story that, like Shakespeare, you can adapt it to anything and make it however it works for you. So
unlike the historical accuracy of Zack Snyder's 300.
Exactly.
I mean, come on.
And to a certain extent, that story does have some base in reality.
It does. Yes, it does.
So,
but Xerxes didn't look like he looks in that movie.
Exactly. Hey, reminding folks that you can send in super chats, and we actually have one here from J Bling 6687 commenting on what we're just talking about. Brad Pitt wouldn't have to do an awkward British accent in Nolan's iteration of the Odyssey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be, I'm really curious to see, I mean, he's got great actors, but to see how he's going to I want to see how he's going to portray it.
Yeah.
I mean, he's always done, in terms of my favorite word, verisimilitude, he's always done a great job with that. And that trailer shows that.
Yeah. I mean, I can see something like Polyphemus, the Cyclops, being some kind of,
Well, they said it's going to be a puppet, like a
really?
live. Yeah, like they're doing. It's in camera.
Very cool.
Which I can't wait. I want to see what that looks like. And if they do go to the underworld, what does that look like?
What does that look like? Exactly.
What is Christopher Nolan's underworld? Because he's never done a straight up fantasy.
No.
I mean, you could call the Batman movies, but they were
no.
They were shot in, there's no Anton First designed Gotham there the way there was in Tim Burton's.
Yeah. I mean, I think the closest you get to any kind of magical stuff is in the movie about the rivaling magicians. And
the Prestige. But even that was done.
And even that, it tries to base it in some kind of scientific.
I mean, the guy put the most realistic black hole on film we've ever seen. It was badass.
Right.
It was badass. I mean, I love that.
Yeah.
I keep trying to make a logo for Imagination Connoisseurs Unlimited using that kind of a design.
That design.
But I got the design I wanted with the cover of my album.
That's right.
If I could just figure out a way to make that move.
Yeah. I'm sure there's plenty of ways to do it.
I need it. I'm
sure there's somebody probably in the chat right now here that'd be willing to do that for you.
Probably, but then I need to be able to have it work with, and I need it quickly because I need to put it in front of the White Devils.
Yes.
We might have some distribution on that, so nice. I better get it done.
Well, we got 1001 Johnny waiting to chat with us here, so welcome, Johnny. You should be able to join the chat now.
What's up, dude?
I don't see him unmuted.
He's watching Ultraman.
He's too busy watching Ultraman. Let me see. I'll try that again. Johnny, are you able to join us? It looks like he might be having... he's troubleshooting his camera. So we're going to go ahead and
come back
to Kevin Rodriguez. Kevin, are you with us? Are you able to join us at this point?
Yes.
Yeah. There you are. Welcome, Kevin.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Good to see.
What's up?
Oh, I've got dogs in the background, as you can hear. So
I always have dogs. It's okay.
So, all right. So, well, first of all, I have read the Odyssey and Iliad, and I also read the David Simmons duology based on your recommendation.
Did you like it? You don't have to say yes because
it got a little long near the end, but
a little
overall, yes.
Yeah, it wasn't wild.
It was pretty wild.
It was just so weird.
For it to have been one book, to be honest.
I'm right there with you. Dan Simmons tends to get long-winded. I'm the first person to admit that.
There were some points where it was like, I'm just reading it and I'm kind of like, I don't know if I really need to be reading all this, but anyway.
Yeah.
So you
could just read the first book.
And honestly, that's probably the best one. The second one was where most of the problems were.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, and it was pretty self-contained, except for Hockenberry pretty much deciding to go back for reasons, I guess.
Yeah.
So two questions. Not to put you on the spot with the first one, but where's the prizes for the True Noir Kickstarter?
That's a good question. We were looking into distribution, and that could have been an issue, but it's not an issue. We carved it out in our deal. So now I have begun work on finishing those up because, the soundtrack album has basically been done for months, but it might have been, and we might not have been able to distribute it with our deal. So now we carved both that out and the Blu-ray so I can finish them, because the soundtrack album especially is something that you can't really enjoy it as much it's great. And I had Jeff Bond write 24 pages of liner notes. It's really cool. So those are fast tracked. Hopefully I want to get those out in the next couple months. Okay. That and the script book too. So yeah, it's in process. And it's supposed to come out February 17th, all of True Noir. They're releasing it as the 4.5-hour version, and they're going to put it in libraries, and it's going to be available worldwide on every streaming service.
Oh, wow.
So that was very cool, but we had to wait. It's taken us almost 8 months to hammer all of that out.
Okay.
So, but it's coming, and I'm really excited because they're really cool.
Well,
It's
all
really
right.
cool. My only problem now is fitting everything on a BD 100.
Well,
So, because there's a lot of video stuff. It's cool.
Awesome. So,
because nobody wants it more than me.
I actually do want it. So,
yeah.
All
Well,
right.
I appreciate that.
You're welcome. So, the second question, on Doomsday, I've been thinking about this as I watched the John.
Boy, I can't wait.
Who do you think gets claimed to the IMAX screens?
I think that's going to be tough. And if they embrace it, I think they should switch off. I think you should have one show of I don't know if they'll allow it. I think it's going to be, maybe they'll divvy up the IMAX screens in various regions. I don't know how that's the thing. That is the big question. I have no idea. With IMAX having its most profitable year ever this past year, and with both of these films, I want to see both of these movies in IMAX. Bill Hunt called me up and said that they did a test screening of Dune 3 the other day, that he was reading a report that there was a test screening. They said how it was just incredible, and it wasn't finished, obviously, but they said it was incredible.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I was just wondering about that.
I hope they keep the release date. I can't wait. I mean, I can't explain, all I can say is I am so excited for Avengers Doomsday. Like, deliriously excited for Avengers Doomsday, to the point where so I was watching, I'm going to do a show tomorrow night with Alvaro and explain why I'm excited about Avengers Doomsday, about there's something that the Marvel Cinematic Universe lost that is totally evidenced in the Russo brothers filmmaking. I watched Captain America Civil War last night, and I was watching this film, and that film, if you watch the Russo brothers work, especially Winter Soldier and Civil War, and Infinity War and Endgame are next level, but especially Civil War, what that movie is able to accomplish in terms of storytelling and characterization is pretty amazing. And it reminded me of how good the MCU used to be. And I think that there's a specific reason why it lost itself after Endgame, and we're going to talk about that. And I had a hour-and-a-half long conversation with Alvaro last night about this very thing. I was like, dude, let me throw some at you, and he plussed my ideas and made them even better. So we're going to talk all about that. I can't fucking wait to see Doomsday. Cannot wait. And people, I'll tell you, like Channing Tatum, people have no idea. But you can get a feel for it if you look at those three, soon to be 4, maybe soon to be 5, I don't know, teasers. Because if you look at those teasers, the tone of them speaks volumes in terms of what we're going to be getting. That's all I can really say. I can't wait till Doomsday. But it's a good question about the IMAX screens. I don't know how they're going to do that. I don't know yet if they're, I mean, everyone's saying that they're going to stand firm with those release dates. I don't necessarily believe that's true. I hope it is, because I think they should. I think the studios, I think Disney and Warner Brothers should team up and start promoting Doomsday even now. You look at what Boss Logic was doing with his posters and stuff. I mean, oh, look at that good boy. Is that a girl or a boy? Girl. What a darling dog. We don't have we lost your
yeah.
Oh, there you go. You're back now.
Yeah, I'm back now. I had to mute for a second while I called her to keep her from being in trouble.
Oh.
But awesome. Well, I know my time is up, so the last thing I'm going to say, and then you can move on, is I don't know if you saw my ex direct message, but I messaged you months ago. A friend's daughter has a shrine to Tron.
Wait, you're sorry. What? Say that again.
A friend of mine has a daughter, and Tron's her favorite movie, and she has a shrine to Tron. So the
original Tron.
For all
Trons.
Yeah, she likes the original the best. So I messaged you on X pictures of the shrine. I figured you'd.
Oh, I gotta look. I didn't see that. I gotta look it up. I mean, I get so much. Either people want to talk, or I just get. Lately, I'm just getting a lot of hate.
Yeah, well,
which is okay.
Me too. So yeah, I look for iCritic. I figured you'd like to see that shrine, and
I would love to see that shrine.
All right, that's it. Thank you.
I kind of have a shrine too, actually.
Thank you so much, Kevin. Great to see you,
good to see you, Kevin, and thanks for your support.
Speaking of support, we want to welcome Journey End at Journey's End, who has become a YouTube member. Welcome to Journey's End. For that,
we all might be on that journey.
Yes.
I guess we all are when we're born, but you know what I mean.
All right.
America's on its journey's end.
Let me see. 1001 Johnny is back, so let me go ahead and see if he was able to join us. Johnny, I just there you are. Welcome, Johnny.
How do I sound?
You sound good.
Okay, yeah. My computer was having a problem. Camera wasn't turning on. Krizik was trying to help me in the chat, and now the camera's not working at all. So I switched over to my phone.
Oh, well, you're okay.
You know that was so. Man, I was watching at Nuremberg.
Your sound is kind of cutting out. It's jumping around.
Let's see.
But
you can maybe try
how's this?
That's better.
That's better. Yep.
Yeah, earphones. Yeah, go figure. Okay, so for the record, I wasn't watching Ultraman. I was watching Judgment at Nuremberg.
Nice, with Shatner.
Yes, I like immediate. It's for free on YouTube at the moment with a bunch of other awesome old movies. I made an 11 movie playlist.
Maximilian Schell and Shatner.
Yeah, I sent that movie to my dad on our family chat room, and it's like Shatner's in the cast, and he goes, "Huh." So I know he's probably seen it. Like my dad watches a lot of movies, so he or at least he knows about it. I'm sure.
When we took Shatner to the Cannes Film Festival, Film Market back in '99, he ran into Maximilian Schell at a party on the beach, and it was the first time they'd seen each other since they made that movie together.
Oh wow!
And
this was before, it was before Star Trek too, right? Before
it predated Star Trek. It predated Twilight Zone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, but it's a good movie. I think it's a good movie. I haven't seen it in a long time, but I think it's
3 hours long. Judy Garland came back to acting briefly for the thing. I haven't finished the film because I fell asleep while watching it, and I started it up again before the Zoom call happened.
Oh.
But I did get to Judy Garland's scenes when the army attorney goes to try to convince her to come to trial, and she then takes the witness stand. And oh shucks, what's his name? The guy before him who's sterilized and possibly mentally incompetent.
Well, I don't remember which character was which.
He's like, I was looking him up, and it's like he's one of the original method actors along with Brando. Montgomery, is that it?
Oh, Montgomery Clift?
Yes. I was going to say it the other way around. I was going to say Cliff Montgomery, but
so, yeah, Montgomery Clift.
Yeah,
Cliff Montgomery's a cool name, though. Cliff Montgomery.
It's a wonderful performance. I don't think I've really. I don't remember watching films with Cliff in it, but I might have, and I just don't remember because the name recognition wasn't clicking in. Like I saw Burt Lancaster in several films, and then I couldn't remember what I saw him in, and then I watched what was it? This movie where he's playing like this newspaper mogul, and the film is revolving around like this scrupulous reporter. Like it's I can't remember the name of it, but it was awesome, and I found the film specifically because of Film Journal on YouTube. Like it's a great movie channel for people to check out. He like goes through a lot of old movies and is very passionate about just about everything he talks about. If you become a member on his YouTube channel, he has this amazing video on Captain America, the comic book.
Oh, right. Okay.
It's such a sweet video about how Jack Kirby favorite character to write was Captain America, and you see like his love for Captain America even in the 70s when politically was like Watergate was just happening and that sort of thing, and how Marvel was using Captain America to be socially, commentary device, and how Kirby approached the same thing with a lot more innocent optimism, but probably because that's just like how would you put it? Like, Kirby he's a soldier in World War II. So like the way he used Captain America to talk about what he thought the American dream was is just simple. This is America. It's not everything else. And there's this picture of Captain America embracing all the children of the United States. It's beautiful.
Yes.
Oh, gee. I gotta run off. I can't say everything I did over the holidays, though it wasn't much. It was a very restful time. I saw a new Lupin the Third movie, if you remember about that. Like a new movie
It's the live action or the animated.
The animated one. There's the new Lupin the Third. It's called Lupin the Third: The Immortal Bloodline. It is like I don't know what you know about Lupin the Third, but there was like this more adult spin-off.
Yeah. Actually,
like there's the
versions.
You got
of them.
Daisuke Jigen's gravestone.
No, I don't have that.
Okay, so there's the TV show, The Woman Called Fujiko Mine. Then there's 5 or 4 spin-off films.
Yeah.
I'm just going to list them off. Daisuke Jigen's gravestone, Goemon Ishikawa's Spray of Blood, and Fujiko Mine's Lie, and then Inspector Zenigata and the 2 Lupins. And then there is Lupin the Third, The Immortal Bloodline, which all of these, there's an ongoing plot. If you watch, starting with Daisuke Jigen's gravestone, you see kind of a plot is unfolding, but, every time you watch one of these movies, you feel like unsatisfied because the story hasn't been fully told and they're hinting at something else going on. And even when you watch Lupin, The Immortal Bloodline, they still don't tell you everything, but you realize that these movies are set in the 70s. And the very first Lupin the Third movie, called in English, The Mystery of Mamo. In Japanese, it was just called Lupin the Third, and then later retitled to Lupin versus the Clone. All of these movies are actually building up to that movie specifically, or at least a plot line based on that movie. And it's really cool because it's everybody in the West, at least, a lot of people in the West define Lupin the Third based on Miyazaki's movie, The Castle of Cagliostro. And
Right.
A lot of the Lupin OVAs have kind of been following that mold. Lupin's more like a Robin Hood kind of noble thief. But these movies are kind of trying to bring Lupin back to his manga criminal roots, where he's got a sense of honor, but he's still
Yeah. I mean, that's how I first encountered him.
Yeah. So it's like they're not using the Castle of Cagliostro; they're using versus the Clone or The Mystery of Mamo. And it's a lot of fun because I actually like The Mystery of Mamo a lot more than the Castle of Cagliostro. Not because I think the Castle of Cagliostro is bad by any means. It's like comparing Mickey Mouse to Bugs Bunny. One is loony, the other is Disney.
Right. Yeah.
Even in The Mystery of Mamo, there's like Interpol is like, where's Lupin? We have to find him, that notorious thief. And then someone's reading Mad Magazine and Lupin has inserted himself into the Justice League, like giving a thumbs up. And it's like, that bastard.
Yeah.
He's everywhere.
No, it's good. That character's been around for a long time. Have you seen the French films?
Oh, sorry. It was already time's up for Johnny, so I don't know if you want me to get him back on.
Oh, he just gave you the thumbs up. Yeah. Okay.
So let me, you want me to put him back on?
No, that's good.
Okay.
I mean.
All right. So good, Johnny. Sorry about that. Let's go ahead and bring in our next person, which is Brian Erdy.
Mr. Erdy. I forgot to put his opening on my new opening, so I had to go back and do it. I was like, where's my Brian Erdy opening? And I realized on the first show of the year, I'm like, it's not there. I forgot to, so I had to go back and rebuild my opening. So thanks for that, Brian. Your credit's still there.
Awesome.
People love that opening.
I do too.
I know it's the best.
My daughter texted me earlier today and said, "Hey, Dad, Russell, her boyfriend, has to work tonight, and she's like, you want to meet up for dinner?" I was like, "Sure." What I did not anticipate is that we would probably be having dinner at the Piedmont Hospital in Cartersville emergency room, which is where we are at. She had an allergic reaction to some medication.
Oh my God. Is she okay?
She's fine. She's we're just hanging, waiting for the anti uh, reaction medication to kick in. So we're just kicking and chilling back. But I thought I would take this opportunity to share with you something about Josie that you would certainly appreciate.
Lay it on me.
She is a voracious reader.
That is a good thing.
So I want
But it
her
depends. Now you, since you've said that, you've got to put her up for judgment. What does she like to read?
Well, she's going to tell you.
Oh.
Hi.
Hello, Josie. How are you feeling?
I'm good, thank you.
What did you eat?
We think it was an injection that I get for my asthma.
Oh.
I had a reaction
okay.
to it, so.
All right. Well, now I just want you to know I'm going to judge you. You're going to be judged.
That's fair. So I'll read a little bit of anything. I'm 27 and I'm a girl, so I read a lot of rom-coms. My
Okay.
favorite book last year was The Night and the Moth. I read 200 books by the end of the year last year.
Oh my God. Well, you've dwarfed me, so I can no longer judge you. You can judge me now.
That was
So,
my goal was 200, so I hit it. I'm hoping to do 250 this year.
how long does it take you to read a book? Are you a fast reader?
I'm a really fast reader.
Yeah, me too.
Generally, if I sit down and just like sit with a book, I can be done 2-3 hours.
Yeah.
So it doesn't take me long at all.
So how do you find what books you're going to read? Where do you look? Do you follow any, like, the New York Times book review? Do you go to Amazon and read things? Do you go to Goodreads? How do you figure out what you're going to read?
I do a lot of Goodreads. I have an Instagram that I run that's all about books, so I get a lot of my recommendations from people on there.
Oh, nice.
I have a lot of friends on there that we toss book ideas back and forth. Most of the time, if I'm willing to read or try anything, I don't always make it through because I don't jive with everything, but I will try most anything.
Have you ever read Donna Tartt's The Secret History?
I have not.
I would recommend that.
Okay, absolutely.
As a matter of fact, I was trying to make an AI song about that book, and I was having a really hard time doing it. It took me weeks and weeks and weeks, but I finally cracked it the other night, put it up on my YouTube channel.
Very
The
nice.
most, no one's going to get it if you haven't read the book, but it was a really difficult, I think I did 60 iterations of that song and I couldn't make it work. But don't listen to my song, read the book.
Okay, absolutely.
It's really good. She's only written 3 books. She wrote The Goldfinch, why am I drawing a blank on her second book? The Secret History was her first book. The Little Friend was the Little Friend, but The Secret History is one of my favorite modern novels.
Yeah, I'll absolutely look into it.
It's about college.
Okay, yeah, I'll definitely take a look at it.
Yeah, well, I hope you're feeling better.
Thank you so much.
Get better. And I want to follow your book Instagram now. What is your book Instagram?
What's your book Instagram?
Books with Josie 7.
Books with Josie 7.
I'm going to follow you right now.
I'll wrap up here, but 2 real quick things. What I was gonna do today before this happened was I can't wait for the next members chat because did
you make a new video?
Well, I did make a video. I sent it to you. Did you see where I used AI to animate all of my action figures?
Dude, that was amazing. That was amazing. I love that.
That was fun. And I even took the original score to MySpace and used Suno to add lyrics to it. Crazy cool.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, how long did it take you? Did you write the lyrics yourself? Did you use AI to assist you in writing lyrics, or
wrote the lyrics myself? AI tweaked it a little bit to make it actually melodic, and I used an app called Knock Knock to animate all of my action figures and play sets and all that stuff. And
did you have to pay for that?
Yes, $100 a year, but more than paid off. I probably, that video is only 2.5 minutes long. I probably did 150 different scenes and situations, and then picked the best, the ones that worked nice or worked well with the lyrics and the pace of the video.
You can see doing stuff like that how the data centers in the future are going to probably end up covering the planet like Coruscant once people catch on to what it's done for pre-production for film. What this app storyboarded AI is insane. It is. So I'm making an animated pilot using it we've been trying to sell this animated project for the last 2 years.
Neat.
I'm just making the whole thing with storyboarded. I don't even have to do it. I'm just going to make it and self-distribute it.
What's storyboard it?
Storyboarded AI.
So
you can storyboard things in any form you want, but then you can animate your storyboards.
Nice.
And when you start to get into using the program, you'll see the possibilities. And they just added on the 26th of December, they added voice capabilities, so you can make. And I was looking at it because I've been storyboarding this other project. You can pick your lens sizes.
Nice.
You can do any. And so as far as a movie is concerned, you can literally, I'm literally using the software to make the entire film. So you'll be able to sit down and watch the True Noir, True Noir, the dying in the post-war world, the movie that we want to make. You'll be able to watch it.
Amazing.
And in animatic form, but it's not animatic form like you've ever seen before. It's like almost photorealistic. You can pick whatever kind you want to use. It's insane. Now, here's the thing. As you know from AI, you can press a button and get a result. But if you know what you're doing, it's a very powerful tool to use. And if you know how to make a film, for instance, I mean, look at the Star Wars movies that are coming out. Look at some of the ones that have come out, like Beggar's Canyon, the extended version with Anakin and Padme. I mean, if the people that know how to make films, look, you're going to always have people that press a button and go, I've made art. But I'm in the middle of making an app, and I'm in the middle of creating an entire version of our movie that you can watch. So if people want to know, well, what kind of, because people are going to say, you've only directed one movie 25 years ago. Why should we let you direct it? Let me see your lookbook. And I'm like, fuck you. I'll do you one better. You can watch the whole goddamn movie. And people are going to have their scripts, but everyone's going to be like, give it a year or two. It's like, well, you have a script. I don't want to read a script. Show me your movie.
Yeah.
Show me the movie you want to make. And the benefit of it is if you want to pay actors, if you don't want to just use AI generated stuff, people are going to start releasing their movies using these software things online. Some of them are going to be good. Some of them are going to be not so good. Mm-hmm. But the fact is, AI is not, it's going to take me using that software months and months to do it right. Months and months, and an insane amount of money if you want to, because as you know, $100 for the year, people, there's like 6 AI programs I'm using. I need to start a new budget for my life just for AI programs, which I'm going to use. And they all are very labor intensive to do it right, especially when you can pick your lens sizes on your storyboards.
Mm-hmm.
It's insane, because then you're like, I want to use a 35 millimeter instead of a 50 here. It's crazy.
Wow.
And then you could adjust. Dude, it's insane. You can get the shots exactly. And you know what? If you're going to shoot a real movie, you can go to your department heads, and if you've got the movie done, you can go, look, here's what I was thinking. Now, how are we going to make this better? And you can give it to all your keys, especially like if you're working in effects or gaming. It would be an invaluable tool for the people like directors to be able to, because the directors can do this themselves. Mm-hmm. And then you can disseminate it to everybody else that has to be like, okay, here's what I want. Here's what I'm thinking. Now, how do we make this better? so the costume design team can know, the production designer can know, everybody. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Rob, is it also possible with tools like these to cut back on the amount of time of production? Like if you can get it down to the edit as close as possible before you actually film, then you're not filming, a lot of extra stuff that you have to then deal with in post and stuff like that. You can literally edit it before you even start doing
that's what I'm doing.
Right?
That's what I'm doing. I'm literally, and as a film editor myself, and you can get, once you have your storyboard shots, you can turn them into, you have the storyboards correct, the angles correct, the lens size correct. Then when you animate it and make the video, you can get up to 12 seconds of video.
Wow.
It's like getting a shot.
Yeah.
And then you take it, and then I put it in. I'm just using Final Cut to do it because Premiere is I want to work. It's much faster for me to use Final Cut.
Yeah.
Because it's less cumbersome. And I'm sitting there. I can sit there and do a scene. I mean, it takes me, and once you have that down, that doesn't mean that people can't improvise and actors can't do other things in blocking.
Right.
But can you imagine what your camera department could do for you?
Yeah.
If it's like when you're doing a commercial, and when we did when we did the Hills Run Red, when Dave Parker, I said to Dave Parker, the trailer, we made a fake trailer for Hills Run Red. Well, not a fake trailer, but a proof of concept trailer to sell his vision. I said, we're going to do this like a commercial, Dave. I need you to make an animatic. And he had storyboards and then made animatics for some of the shots. And he cut together the 2-minute trailer. And we were able to give it, because everybody was working on a volunteer basis. We gave it to the effects house. We gave it to everybody. And like, this is what we're doing. And then I took his shots and I blew them up and I made a big fucking chart. Because we only had one day in a theater on a Hollywood Boulevard. One day. And we had to get everything. We had to be in the projection booth and we had to be in the auditorium of this movie theater. And we had it for one day. And as soon as we got the shot, I would X out on this big display. So anybody at any time could walk over and I pasted it all up on this giant like butcher paper. And as soon as the producer, as soon as we got the shot, I would X out so people could look and they knew at any one moment, anybody in the crew could look at it and go, okay, here's what we're doing next.
Yeah.
And with these animatics, you'd be able to budget, you'd be able to schedule, you should be able to do, because half that, you will never be on a set. I'll tell you what kills anytime you're working with a director. If a director does not know what the next shot is, you're fucked.
That's just time. That's just money burning by the second.
It's also because the rest of the crew is like, fuck you, you amateur.
Yeah.
You've got an entire crew. This will prevent that from ever happening.
Right.
Especially, who's going to love you? Your first AD. Because a lot of people don't understand this, but when when you're making a movie or a TV show, the first AD is your best friend. And when the times I've directed, I've said, look, I've taken my first AD and I'm like, we are going to walk the day.
Right.
Usually between 6:30 and 7 when people are arriving and getting breakfast, I take the first AD out and I walk the day with them. And I'm like, here's where I want to go. This is what I want to get. That doesn't mean they always get pissed because I always add something because I'm like, oh, we can get. But as long as you walk the day, so your first AD, because your first AD is your conduit to the rest of the crew, the camera department, and they want to anticipate what are the next couple of shots. So how can we work most efficiently? But using this AI, multiple programs to make the movie first.
Yep.
Anybody who does animation or effects heavy movies already does this. This is nothing new. But it allows me as the director to sit down and I can do it in my head now. I don't have to rely on storyboard artists. I don't have to rely, because half the time your effects team is doing like, wouldn't this be cool? But they're not necessarily thinking about how is that going to cut in with the live action and all that. Now you have the ability to pre-make your movie.
Yeah.
Which I think you have to do.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it any other way now.
Yeah, and with the calls to make things less expensive, anything that's going to help you in in accelerating that process and making it more efficient is only going to help.
Yeah, especially if you're on location.
Yeah.
And the great thing is you can even plug in the actors that you want. So there's one particular thing, a thing that I'm working on the side, not the movie that I want to make now, this movie I want to make later. It was written, and Xevious was doing storyboards, actually doing storyboards for me for this project. I'd paid him. He'd done about 150 for me, and he was paid to do that. And I want them in his style. You can do that too.
That's awesome.
Take his style. I mean, he passed away. So.
I know. All right. Richard Eve is coming up next. Richard, you should be able to join us in the discussion now. Are you there, Richard? Are you there? Yeah. Welcome, Richard.
What's up, man?
All right. I don't know. Hang on. Let me just. There I am.
There you are. How are you, sir?
I'm doing all right. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you sound good.
Oh, good. Okay. Because I couldn't be asked with the headphones, is all. Yeah. No, I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
It's crazy. Trying to do a lot of stuff happening. It's all, like I say, it's all a continuum.
Yes.
Everything is happening all at once, and it runs a gamut.
Yeah. I wasn't sure what I was going to talk about, but I heard you talking about the Odyssey earlier, and you know what I was thinking? I was thinking that the I don't want to do spoilers or anything, but the climax of the Odyssey is such that it offers an opportunity for something I haven't seen in a long time, and I really want to see it on the big screen, right?
I know what you mean.
Which is a great big fucking one-man army sequence.
Yeah.
Right? Like the most cathartic, bloody, vengeful, and I can really imagine someone, especially like Christopher Nolan, playing it really, sort of like tone poemy all the way through, and right at the end, giving us just something absolutely bloody shocking. I can really imagine that, and I just think that'd be something cool. And as for the whole sort of like historical accuracy debate, my position is when it was written, it was a fantasy.
Right, exactly, 100%.
It's not. And it's not even kind of like, when it was first. I don't know what the equivalent of publishing is in Homer's time. but when it first kind of arrived,
somebody's chiseling stuff out on
right, when it
from
first
papyrus or something.
Oral tradition, it was already a tale of long ago.
Right.
From a mythic.
It's kind of like the pyramids were already 2,000 years old when ancient Greece was at its height.
Exactly. Yeah. So I don't think it's dreamlike, and I don't really see the controversy there. But
I think it's because people haven't read it. I mean, it's such a weird. It was weird to me. I mean, it's cool. I thought it was interesting watching what people were saying, but to me, I'm like, but I'll tell you, Christopher Nolan is I think an interesting filmmaker. He's very clinical, and like when I saw when he was going to make Dunkirk, I'm like, how interesting a film could Dunkirk actually be?
Yeah,
if you read that, but he turned it into an art film about that. He still brought forth the incident and what happened, but he turned it into this really compelling movie that moved above and beyond what I thought he was going to do, and I loved it. I was like, this is amazing.
It's good. I sure would like to be able to hear what the fuck people are saying, though. They're like, what? Sorry. And then I have to kind of go back a bit, and then something massive explodes, and they're like, no, turn it down a bit, and then I'm kind of surfing the audio signal, But
that's something I've never really understood that. I mean, I know he likes to, first of all, when he shoots with IMAX cameras, I love that I read a quote that Matt Damon said, it's like acting. I think he said it's like acting in front of a Cuisinart.
Right.
Because of what shooting film, what IMAX cameras sound like.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm curious. I mean, it'll be interesting to see what's going to happen.
Yeah. The other thing I want to talk about just quickly is my favorite movie of last year, which is by a long shot, is Weapons.
All right. Yeah.
And how much, very rarely a film really kind of lingers in my head, really has an impact on me. And that one really did. I mean, just great. Not a perfect movie, but everything, very high quality threshold on every front,
Yeah. And it's just so odd. It
Yeah.
doesn't follow any traditional form.
Doesn't. But I also think it's a film that's politically enlightened, because it's not, the message is, it's the real threats to society aren't conservatives or liberals, what the threat to society is. It's difficult to define, and the witch's agenda is difficult to define, but we kind of know evil when we see it, because what we should be looking for are entities that are after power for its own sake.
Yeah.
And that's how there's a real poison in the community, when there is an agency that is pursuing that for its own sake. And I rather feel that let's say parts of the world are in thrall of such entities at the moment.
100%. Did you see the clip from the Critics' Choice Awards of Amy Madigan winning a Best Supporting Actress role?
No, I didn't. No.
Look it up, because it's you'll like it. She's like, you really love her. It's I don't think she expected to get the kind of, horror is the place where if it's done right, you get the horror icons, whether it's Freddy Krueger, whether it's Pinhead, whether it's Leatherface. Now it's with Aunt Gladys. Is that Gladys? Who is Aunt that? What's her name? Not Gladys. I always say Gladys because of Bewitched.
Yeah.
What's her name? What's the name of the aunt in Weapons? I forget. But
yeah,
she's a total horror icon.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
She's become
as soon as she shows up, it's like, yeah, that's going to be t-shirts.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was a big swing.
Yeah.
I had read that script like a year before the movie was going to come out, and I'm like, what is this going to look like?
Yeah.
It was something that,
if like on paper it could have gone any way. It could have been like just dull as dishwater,
Yeah.
But it beautifully shot, and just the best George Harrison needle drop of anything ever. As soon as that started happening, I was like, I'm gonna love this movie. I just know I'm gonna love this movie.
Right.
Perfect.
It's true.
Yeah. Anyway, that's that. Yeah.
All right. Well, it's good to see you.
Steve, man. Yeah.
It's funny. I've been seeing a lot of ads for EVE Online.
Oh yeah, for that game. It's been around for a while.
Suddenly my feed is full of ads for EVE Online. I'm like, I have always wanted to play EVE Online, but do you remember, like, I want to say it was like 10 years ago.
I mean, it's been around forever.
But there was some, because you had to pay for like your ships and stuff.
Yeah.
And that there was some massive conflagration.
It was a big battle, and
people lost thousands and thousands of dollars. And I'm like, first of all, it was like, it's not as famous as Leroy Jenkins.
Yeah.
It's not as famous because it's not as memeable. But I was like, this is the coolest. In my mind, the fact that this even happened,
like
I'm
a
like,
whole
okay.
raid on some kind of space station. All these ships
it was
came
some
together.
gigantic thing, and I'm like, this is the coolest. I mean, as far as gaming is concerned, that was when I first realized that games had elevated out of just being gaming.
Yeah.
It had gone to something. The fact that you could actually have real world ramifications.
Right. Yeah.
Well, and then that guy whose girlfriend like threw away his basketball. He had been playing the basketball.
Oh,
I don't know what it was.
Yes.
And she like threw it all away. She's like, "Where's my?" He had like $250,000 invested in this thing. And she's just like, "I didn't want you playing that video game anymore." I'm watching him like, what? It's just. There's something to be said. Like, if somebody's got to make like the definitive version and not cheesy about how our virtual world has encroached, like not with an evil AI, but something else. Because Ryan Murphy's like ripped off The Substance for his new show, The Beauty. Have you seen the trailer?
Yes, I saw a preview. And interesting that it has Ashton Kutcher who dated Demi Moore. Isn't that so weird?
Yeah, it's so weird. I mean, the whole thing is. I'm like, come on, dude. It's so shameless.
I know.
But you know what? I can't wait to
It
watch
looks pretty good. I gotta say, it looks pretty good.
It's got my two favorite words in horror.
Yeah.
Body and horror.
And horror, exactly.
And you can't anything that corrupts the human form, I'm in. Count me in.
There was an animated series. I think you've seen it. It was on Netflix about virtual worlds and these people who are sent. Can get. They start getting sent into the virtual world, and it kind of projects into the future, like when everybody just basically.
That was it was based on the William Gibson book.
Was it based on a William Gibson book?
Yeah. I want to say it's, as a matter of fact, hang on. I have it. I can't see it.
Anyway,
it's up there.
It was an animated series that was really, really cool. And it kind of.
Oh, I was thinking of the one. I'm thinking of different thing. I'm thinking of the one with Chloe Grace.
Oh, yeah. No, that was a live action. But there's an animated one on Netflix. It's a one-word title.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And it basically starts off with these, organizations that are they're like slicing up the brain and putting it in chips, and then you become like a virtual agent, and then it all kind of just evolves from there. It extrapolates into the future. It was one of William Hurt's last roles,
right?
Because he voices a character in that. So Pantheon, I believe it's what it's called.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes,
very cool.
Which, by the way, that show is awesome.
It's great, and I think it's only 2 seasons. It's on Netflix.
Yeah,
really.
But
cool.
It started out on a different.
They have been an AMC show or something like
that. Yeah, they brought it over to and that show, that was like, I'd never heard of that show.
I know, it's amazing,
and it's amazing. Yeah, it's fucking great. Yeah. It's one of those shows that people don't really know.
It's like that comic book series I was telling you about before we started. For those of you who are Star Trek fans, there's a Image comic book series that came out 5 years ago called Outer Darkness, and it mixes Star Trek with cosmic eldritch horror, and it's fantastic. And I'm ashamed that I didn't learn about it until now. It ran for like a couple of years, and
me too.
And it's from the same writer, Rob, who did the comic book Chew. I don't know if you're familiar with Chew, but it's the same writer. So, all right. He
did a crossover comic.
There is even a crossover. One of them is a crossover. Yep. Speaking of chewing things such as cookies, we got Ish coming up next. Ish, you should be able to join us now. Welcome.
Yeah, Roberto, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Sorry, I want to thank you for your invitation. I'm sorry I couldn't make that.
Oh, it's okay, Rob. I want to see if you can put me down the queue, like maybe 3 members. I need to do something real quick.
Sounds great.
Oh, yeah.
I'll go ahead and skip you now, and we'll check in with you in a couple.
Thank you.
Okay, so then let's go ahead and unpin Ish. Let's go ahead and remove that. And we're going to go to Krizik. Krizik, you should be able to join us now.
He might not be there either.
Yeah, no, I'm here.
Oh, you hear me? Yep.
What's up, dude?
Okay. Hey. We had a rough time in November, huh? Dang.
We did? You mean you and I?
You and I, yeah. I'm sorry. You and I. Yeah, I used the role. I say that because I told all the folks where I work, after that call, I never get onto these calls to have an argument with you because I love you too much. And
I don't take it personally.
I know you don't, and neither do I. But I know that, like, for whatever reason, I always have the luck of you getting triggered to want to talk about other stuff that's not Star Trek. So I always try to keep it. But the point I'm trying to make is that I was telling him, I was like, if Rob and I were dating, we got into such a big argument, we would have had the best sex. You have no idea.
Yeah.
How that would have been.
You never allow that to get in the way.
Yeah, I know. It's such a good time. Anyway, so here's my actual comment. So I want to actually thank you and give you one bravo. Exactly, one bravo.
Just one?
Just one, because I'm going to get to
that. It sounds like you're calling that. Like I'm like I'm out in the bush. Like one bravo is are you out there?
One bravo. Yeah, this Krizik come back. No, but for recommending Pluribus. Now I was hanging out with Paul Chatto, and he and I end up having the same position on it. He actually posted a video reviewing it just the other day. Which aligns with exactly my thoughts on it. And that is to the conversation we had before when talking about, gender identity and all that kind of stuff that has marred a lot of what we try to do in entertainment. That's the right way to do it.
Right,
And
100%.
I wish more people would take the Outer Limits style approach to, if you want to not insert something, but to but to, actually try to send and put over a comment that's bigger than the thing. That's how you win people over if you're looking to win someone over. And I'm saying this as a person that, doesn't identify with any of that kind of stuff.
I totally agree with you. And here's the problem that I have is it's become reversed. It used to be sort of all the great writers understood how to do that.
Yeah.
But now our society's become so infantilized, especially younger people, that they don't understand that concept very much. And it's all about, well, I want to be seen, so I'm going to lead with my identity rather than lead with story.
Right.
And allegory. Look, nobody understands nuance or allegory or
Nope.
literary allusion anymore, and it's clear from the world today. And if you do it the way Pluribus does it, people don't really care.
Exactly.
They're just watching the story unfold.
And if they notice it, it gets completely supplanted by the fact that it's not about her sexuality. It's about the bigger issue. And that's all I've ever been asking for. I got that from
100%.
Like we were like They Were 11, which I told you about that. That's the classic anime OAV from 1986, where one of the characters that's amongst the people that are on training mission in space turns out to be a they, them. And they don't they bring that up only as a point of paranoia of who do I trust amongst these 11 people that I've never met from like 10 different star systems. See, we're already making it more about the story rather than the identity. And that's all I've ever asked for.
Yeah, well, I totally 100%. I mean, the thing about Pluribus is, like John Campy and I have gone back and forth. Like he doesn't like the show at all. And I understand where he's coming from. It depends, like, what are you expecting out of certain things? And to me, Pluribus is more about what's happening off screen,
right?
In a way that, and you're dealing with, like, I fear for the children in that world.
Yeah.
Like, why are there no kids? There's no kids anywhere.
And then when you do see and realize how for those of you that haven't watched it, please do watch it. But there's a thing with there are physical kids there, but they're not what you think. I guess.
But they're not. If you look, there's not very many.
Right.
There's only a few, and if they're directly interacting with people, like the especially the people that, well, it's hard to explain what's. But what's really interesting to me is the ramifications of it all.
Yeah.
And it's such an interesting. It's just an interesting idea. I just hope, and I'm not quite convinced that they know where it's going.
No, I don't think so either, especially given the finale, which I'm not going to speak to. But I am going to change gears real quick because I only got about 2 minutes left. And this is more of a question for you by way of passing it on to Max Allen Collins based on what you just sort of were gushing about when it comes to AI. Make it a TLDR. At my studio, we've been struggling with AI. A lot of the folks in games, we've been kind of getting dragged a bit for whether or not it does or does not show up in various different forms and entities. I can say that we do not use it in the way you might think. And when we do use it, it's trained on our own stuff internally based off of a lot of discussions for the last 2 or 3 years, because that's how long we've been talking about internally. I personally, for my indie studio, do not use it, though, because I am stubborn, and I was taught by folks like Ken Fountain and Olds from Warner Brothers and Walt Disney for what I do. So that's why I don't personally use it. But if you're getting gains out of it for what you're trying to do, and every point you made, just for the room, everything that Rob said about reducing your shot schedule is absolutely correct. I would, however, caution that to the point that Rob just made about young folks getting in that have more activism ideas in their head rather than actually wanting to make the feature good. There's a challenge where it ends up proving the point of, like, see, this is why I'm using this to do my shot list stuff instead of using you, a new hire that wants to worry about your activism. And that, I think, I don't like that aspect of it.
Right. Well, what's really, what I find interesting is that because, like, okay, I want to direct this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I know that the biggest pushback that I'm going to get, let's say I was able to get $20 million to make the True Noir movie. The very first thing that anybody who has $20 million to give to us, whether it's a studio, whether it's a streaming service, the first thing they want to do is replace his director.
Right.
That's just a reality, because I've made one movie 25 years ago. It was a low budget movie shot for less than $1 million. No one is going to want me to direct the film. So what I have to do is, yeah, you could make a lookbook, and I could sit there and what is a lookbook? You cut and paste other people's imagery, you know, and I want to make it like this, you know. So I've still taken other people's work, but if I'm using a storyboard program, and I'm like, I do the same thing I would do on a shot list. I'm like, here's what I want a medium shot of this happening. So I have to visualize every single shot that I want. And I would either write that as a sentence or some way and give it to my first AD. You know, and here's what we're going to do today. Or I can make a shot list and give it to this AI program. And I've got 30 different kinds. In my case, I'm using charcoal drawings. They have a charcoal drawing version. And I'm putting my shot list in, and then I see it generates however many things I want. And then I have to go through and look at every shot. I go, nope, I need you to push in, and I need the camera down by 45 degrees. And I sit there and I am using the AI software. And by the way, there are non-AI softwares that you can do this. They're just slower. And I could be doing the same thing. I could go in and take pictures, because I've done that before. I've gone to actual locations and taken pictures and made sort. This is just, but I'm sitting there and I'll spend hours, if not days, designing my shots exactly the way I want them. So all of it's coming from me. I'm just using a program that is, and now some people would say, well, then you're not using a storyboard artist to draw what you want. I could never afford a storyboard artist to do this, because I would want, in some cases, 50 different iterations of the same board. You just can't do that. And so for me, as somebody who's actually going to direct this, I can get it exactly the way I want it, and then have it and present it to somebody and go, this is what I'm going to do. So there is no mistaking how I want to put it together. And I would say that this is not me. You can hit a button and say, give me an animated sequence for this. And it could be fine, but it's not what I want. So I have to sit down, and I would spend, and if I could work with a storyboard artist, am I putting a storyboard artist out of business? Yes. The reality is yes. But the fact is, as a director, it's one less person that I have to try and get my ideas out to, that I have to have them interpreted by somebody else. In this case, I can use an AI software program and get it exactly, well, almost exactly the way that I want it. And so then I can go forward, and because as a director, the first thing you have to do is sell your vision. So I can sell my vision, and I don't have to worry about other people's interpretation of what that vision is, which is something, by the way, that never really existed before, not to this extent. And that's what I would say. But the key is that I have my vision, and I'm just using multiple tools to achieve it. And then I give my vision to all the other people I'm going to hire. Like, I want to go on set and work with actors. I want to work with cinematographers, because it's the frisson of people doing their jobs that make all this stuff worth watching. Now, it's also apparent to me, watching some of these Star Wars films, we're never going to be able to get Carrie Fisher back to act with Mark Hamill as a young man. Now, how much did it cost to create Carrie Fisher, to create Princess Leia at the end of Rogue One? I don't know, but now it can happen. Now you can make movies that simply couldn't exist, but that doesn't mean they're going to be good, but they're going to be. I mean, just looking at these shorts like Beggar's Canyon, I'm like, and Disney, that's why Disney was smart. We're going to make our IP available for people to use. Smart. They come out and regulate it and let people do it, and then they still own it. They don't have to worry about somebody, because eventually someone's going to make a great AI Star Wars movie, and Disney's going to have to license it from them. That'll be interesting.
Or I can see people who have talked about wanting to recut the original, or if you're unhappy with how the sequel trilogy came out, you can now do a fan edit and add the shots that would make it the story you want to tell, right?
I mean, that's and the thing is, that's going to happen.
Yeah.
You can bitch and moan and complain all you want. It's already happening.
Yeah.
I mean, look, somebody has either artificial general intelligence or artificial super intelligence in a lab somewhere.
Yeah.
Somebody does. They just can't unleash it. I mean, it would be Manhattan Project level of security, because anybody who's read any book about AI, there's a great book that I read by a Portland author called the Deus. The Deus Machine?
Deus Machine, okay.
Pierre Ouellette.
Yeah.
He wrote a great pandemic book called The Third Pandemic, and he wrote, I think it's called The Deus Machine, that is about a super intelligence that escapes in the Portland area.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks to Krizik for joining us, and I'm going to go ahead and give Ish a little bit longer, so I'll go ahead and jump to Victor. Victor, you should be able to join us now.
Okay, everybody, we've got to all give Victor a big sorry, dude, because the 49ers just didn't do it. I'm sorry, Victor. I know you've got enough to worry about, but you picked the wrong team. Just saying, Victor. Tell your mom, too. Tell your mom. So, 49ers let you down, buddy.
Yeah. Come back. They can come back. They can do it, but...
Oh, listen to your mom there for the moral support. Let me tell you, the Seahawks are going to go and win that Super Bowl, son.
I don't think so, but can you push me back like a couple people?
Of course.
Oh, yeah, we'll push you back. Kind of like the defense of the 49ers.
No, that's the fighting words. Victor, no problem.
Snap.
I'll come back. Thank you.
All right, Victor, get ready, because I'm sure you'll have a great comeback, and I'll put you back now on the queue, and we'll get somebody else.
His great comeback is he can say, "Well, Rob, where's your book?"
That's right.
Oh, I don't have one, but Victor does.
We'll go to Robert Coleman. Robert, are you able to join us in the chat now?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Welcome, Robert.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Hey, happy New Year to both of you guys.
Happy New Year, dude. And
Good
thanks
to
for the
see ya.
letters, man.
Hey, thank you. I know I sent you so many.
I've got some I haven't read yet.
Do you ever get one and say, "Oh, Robert again"?
No, I never do that.
Okay. I know I
No.
send you a lot. Anyway,
They're good.
Hey, question. Did you hear about the latest George Miller Mad Max news?
No.
Okay. So after Furiosa bombed, that
It shouldn't have, by the way.
I know, right? But they put a hold on it, like it was up in the air, like what's going to happen now, because they thought it would, they thought it would do better, and kind of put things on hold. But now Miller has said that HBO is going to pick it up, and it'll be a 10-part series. So
You mean the one he wanted to do after that?
The Wasteland. Yes, it's going to be called The Wasteland.
Oh, I'm down with that. It's still Warner Brothers.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
I hope he directs every episode.
Yeah, and it's funny because back in 1980, Miller had already mapped all this out to be a TV series. And so now it's come full circle for a HBO Max 10-part series.
Yeah,
Right?
I've not heard that, man.
Yeah, look it up. It's out there now. And the question is, they don't know if Tom Hardy will be back. He's 48 now. And so I don't know if even though he did sign a contract when they did Fury Road, that he signed up like for a 3-picture deal, but I don't know if he's aged out of the role. So I just wanted your thoughts on where do you think this would go? What would you like to see if they do recast him? Who would you like to see in the role?
I want to see Mad Max. I want to see Mel Gibson play Unforgiven Mad Max.
Oh, that would.
That's.
Be awesome.
I mean, first of all, I love those movies.
Right.
I still think that there's an argument to be made that The Road Warrior is the greatest action movie ever made.
Mm-hmm.
And I love Fury Road. I do.
Yeah.
But there's something, the stripped down nature of the road, aka Mad Max 2.
Right.
There's something that's so talking about peak verisimilitude. I mean, that Fury Road's, I love Fury Road.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
But the Road Warrior there's that scrappy. It's just like I like Terminator better than I like Terminator 2.
Agreed.
And a lot of
Yes.
people, because of its scrappy. I mean, Terminator 2 is obviously an incredible achievement, and James Cameron was working at the height of his powers. But there's a purity in Terminator. This is no time for Harlan Ellison jokes. I just want to point that out. There's a purity in the Terminator in terms of the verve of what low budget filmmaking can do. And I remember, I mean, I went and saw that movie the Saturday it opened in '84, and I know I took some people with me, and we were all just like, we walked out of there like buzzing, and that was the time when you could, that movie was made for I think $6.5 million.
Yeah,
and that was after he had his debacle with Piranha 2, but he used everything he learned working on Battle Beyond the Stars and Escape from New York, and Cameron put it all together, and that film, it's hard to explain. And it's not like me saying, well, you had to be there, kids. I don't mean to come off that way.
Right.
But if as you know, watching movies from when Star Wars came out and after, because there was nothing like Star Wars that ever existed before. Nothing.
Right.
And what it did to science fiction, fantasy, and horror filmmaking, the explosion, and I would say it was a 10-year period of time between 77 and 87. And then you had bigger technology come in and things started to change, like CG technology and all that. By 88 and Cameron, the pseudopod in the abyss, and we were seeing things that couldn't have been done before. And I would chalk it up to the practical world. What was going on? I mean, what people were doing at high budgets and at low budgets was insane.
Right.
And that people were attempting anything. And to experience that, to go into a theater, like I saw the first Mad Max, and I liked the first Mad Max in the theater. I think I was like 11 or 12 when I saw it, and it was cool, but it wasn't as cool as the Road Warrior.
Right.
And when the Road Warrior came out in 82, it was released in 81 because it came out obviously in Australia first. But it came out, I want to say the Road Warrior came out the end of May or the beginning of June. And it sort of kicked off 82. You had Conan the Barbarian.
Right.
And then you had the explosion. June 4th, Star Trek 2 and Poltergeist came out on the same day. And in in June, you had The Thing and Blade Runner came out on the same day.
Insane.
You had E.T. come out. It was fucking insanity. Tron came out a little later.
Right.
And in the same period of time, you went from Conan the Barbarian in the same 2 months. You had Conan, the Road Warrior. You had Rocky 3. You had Blade Runner, The Thing, Tron, Star Trek 2, Poltergeist. Actually, that was in the same 2-month period. And it was fucking mind-blowing. Terminator was 2 years after that. But it was and then you had even things like Firefox, which made a lot of good use of depicting the Firefox aircraft flying and stuff. And it's hard to explain to people what that was like.
Right.
Because everything was so different.
Yeah.
And then to see Tron come out amidst all this, and Conan had no CG.
Right.
Conan was all shot on location on sets. You were either outside, and you had Arnold himself was the special effect.
Yeah.
And it was incredible.
Everybody talks about 1939 being the greatest year ever, but I think for genre cinema, 1982.
Well, it was also a watershed moment where all these people, the conflagration of people trying to do all these different kinds of things.
Yeah.
Like suddenly, like who would have ever thought, well, a Conan movie wasn't going to work, but now that you had Arnold Schwarzenegger, you can make it work. And people are like, well, fantasy films. I mean, no one ever thought necessarily sword and sorcery, because the other stuff that was coming out, like the original Death Stalker and Yor, the Hunter from the Future, and all that shit, and all the Italian ripoffs of Escape from New York. I mean, they weren't great, but the fact that you had Escape from New York that was made for $4 million and it came up by Avco Embassy with visual effects, as Cameron was part of that team.
Yeah,
that movie kicked.
Up, you froze on me, so
it's all going to be CG and shit. Yeah, but they went to fucking St. Louis and brought out the wing of the tail of a real plane.
Yeah,
crazy.
Well, anyway, check it out. Read up on the HBO 10-part series. George Miller is back. Can't wait.
I can. It's going to be called The Wasteland. That's perfect.
Yes, right.
I mean, it's funny because Fallout is kind of like the funny Mad Max TV series.
Right. Yeah, good point.
So, but yeah,
all right. Great to see you, Robert. Thank you for joining us.
Happy New Year to you both.
Yeah,
Happy
keep
New
writing
Year.
the letters. I got more to read from you. I will read some tomorrow.
All right. Let me see if Ish is able to join us now, and we can always put him back in the queue. Ish, are you ready to join us, or do you want a little more time?
I'm ready to go.
All right. So
what's
we'll
up,
go
dude?
ahead and add you here. Welcome, Ish.
Afternoon to everybody on the line. Roberto, nice to have you back.
Thank you.
You know, for a minute, the inmates were running the asylum, and yeah, the time constraints got a little long. But,
Inmate meaning me?
Well, you know, I'm not going to say nobody's name, but yeah, everything's good this year. But yeah, we miss you, Rob. We miss you. I don't know. The reason why is because I got an uncle that's really, he has a lot of stories to tell. He likes to tell people, so I really wanted you to meet him. But you know how that goes. But I had a question for you, Rob. My question was, with your knowledge of how movies are made and everything, do you think that kind of stops you from watching a movie for just pure entertainment without being so critical to it?
Oh no, yeah, I think it's a great question. When I sit down and watch a movie, I never think about how it was made. Not usually. I mean, I'll go and I think of it as more as a story, because, you know, to think of it's really a whole different mindset. Because when you sit down to watch a movie, I'm sitting down to watch a story. I never think about how the movie is made when I'm watching it. Never. I think about how the movie was made after I saw it. And but the first time I see a movie, I never think about that. I'm just watching. I literally I don't know if that's, I think that was it was training, you know, because from the very beginning I was curious about how, you know, when I was 5 years old and saw War of the Worlds for the first time, I was like, how did they do that? You know, and I started reading up. That's what really got me. I was 5, getting books about movies, and most of the time they didn't really get into how things were made. It wasn't really until post Star Wars. I mean, they would show you like stunts and things, but I never think about that when I first see a film. And even when I read a script, like a script I read recently, but I'm thinking about how the fuck are they going to do this? I do think about that. I'm like, I read a script recently where on the page, I literally, from one page to the next, I was shaking my head going, I couldn't even visualize some of the things that were in it. Like, I'm like, I don't know how they're going to do this. But when I'm watching a movie, no, I never. But that's why if I really like a movie, it's because of all the things that they did that made it work as a story. So then I want to go back and I'll watch it again and again and again and again.
Yeah, because I was wondering, like, I hear you and John sometimes talk about a movie, and I'm like, man, is it because they know so much about it that it stops them from, like, because maybe it's a movie that I like really a lot, and then you guys are kind of like, yeah. So it makes me like, I wonder if they can watch it without being technical about it, you know? And,
well, I think
get just a pure entertainment value.
Yeah, I mean, I think like there's a lot of people, for instance, my friend Alvaro, who's been on the channel recently, he and I go back and forth. Like, I told him to watch a Zalman King erotic pot boiler from 1987 called Two Moon Junction, which I think is I love Two Moon Junction. He didn't like it at all. You know, he was like, this movie's trash, you know, and why do you like it? And I'm like, when we can have these conversations, but it's not his kind of trash. Like, he's been doing he's been watching all the Home Alone movies and been giving me these reports. He got Home Alone. I didn't even know there was a Home Alone 6 or something, but he's been giving me the whole Home Alone. Like, we've been having this erudite conversation about the Home Alone movies, and he's been buying them. And he even said to me last night, it was very funny. He goes, so I just got my Hellraiser turbine disc from Germany, and I got a physical DVD copy of Home Alone 3. And we were musing that on planet Earth, on a planet of 6 billion people, he was the only person on the planet that got Home Alone 3 and the Hellraiser that was from Hulu on physical media yesterday in the mail. I can honestly say, of billion people, that was the only time that ever happened on planet Earth. And that's the only time it ever will happen, unless somebody watches this and does this just to say, see, Rob, it happened again. And you know, so everybody, I'm like, dude, why do you want to watch the Home Alone movies? So everybody has their own, you know, it always begins about what interests you. You know, what are the certain things that you like? Like if you have a real affinity for pro wrestlers, for instance, I would imagine seeing Dave Bautista and seeing The Rock would mean something more to you as a viewer than it would mean to, say, me, because you already enjoy those personalities. So when you're like, I watched The Rundown the other day, the movie that one of his early movies. I think that's a good movie, directed by Peter Berg. And but when I watch it, I have no connection to The Rock as a wrestler. So I never begrudge anybody for liking something that and it's funny because that's why that letter that I read from Cult Cinema 83, I don't begrudge people for liking things that they like.
Yeah,
I don't.
Well,
but I have no problem when I recognize something is good. I think things are demonstrably, objectively good. Now, you might not like them, but you should be able to recognize when something is good and then admit, well, I don't like this.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there's Best Picture winners that I just don't like.
Yeah, that's true. Well, the reason I was asking that is because since I started listening to you and John, I noticed that I've been more critical of movies that I watch. Like as I'm watching them, I'm starting to notice things that I never would have noticed before, and so it was making me think like, wow, if I can see that now in the movie, I'm trying to imagine what you guys are thinking with your knowledge of movies, how it affects you guys. So I know, like, I see something for the first time and I'm watching, I'm like, wait a minute, that doesn't make any sense. Like that's just, you know, to where before I would have just watched the movie and it wouldn't have ever dawned on me. But now that I've started picking up things that you guys talk about, it's affected the way I watch movies now, is what I'm saying. And
yeah,
so
well, I don't think that there's necessarily anything wrong with that. Do you find, though, that it hampers your enjoyment of movies?
Yeah, sometimes, like when I'm fully engaged in it, I'll see something just wacky or something that's just like, wait, this is stupid. Like, why, you know, it does. It kind of takes me out of the whole movie. Like, it kind of just like, oh, wow, this is okay, I can't watch this anymore. And I just want to turn it off.
I mean, I can see that. But I think that makes you, I think it's always better to be a more astute viewer. And, you know, I talk a lot about watching movies at what I call scale. And I have different expectations for different kinds of movies. Like I really like, you know, exploitation films from the 1970s. And if you go back and you watch like Abel Ferrara's first movie, Driller Killer, by no stretch of the imagination is Driller Killer a good movie. However, I watch it, and most people that watch the John Campea show, I could not recommend Driller Killer. They're going to dismiss it in the first 2 minutes. But if you can watch it understanding what it is, when it was made, I think understanding movies and more about movies can enhance your enjoyment of them, depending on how you are. But most people don't care. Most people just want to watch movies and be entertained. They don't even want to think about how they're made. You know, and only 20% of the people that bought physical media care about special features. So that, you know, that was something. So 80% of the population, you have to just assume that 80% of the population just wants to sit down and watch a film. And they're not analyzing it. They're just watching it. If the story is good and they like the actors and they like what happened, they go on with their day. Because really, if you think about it, that's all that a movie's supposed to do for 90 minutes or 2 hours is entertain. And I think the people that are in our sphere that watch the John Campea show that are interested in movies they only represent 20% of the population. And I think a lot of people on like online pundits that talk about movies or books or television or whatever sometimes forget that it's only 20% of the population that even cares. Mm-hmm. And there's nothing wrong with that. I just think you have to be mindful that when you're talking about movies, you're not necessarily talking about the general population of the world.
Yeah.
Because movies are a luxury item.
Good to see you, Ish. We've got Major Chai Chai coming up next. Hello, Major. You should be able to join the conversation now.
Hello. Can you hear me?
What's up, hot stuff?
You're too kind, Robert.
Oh, I just see what I see. What's up? What's going on?
Well,
are you excited about Artemis?
Yes.
Me too.
Yeah. First up, Dave Parker is in the YouTube chat, and
yes, we're doing Midnight Metal tonight.
Okay.
I forgot to put he made great thumbnail. Yes, Dave. We're doing I forgot. I totally forgot. I just, it slipped my mind. Because I'll tell you what's I've been making food for my dogs, not just to save money, but so they can eat better. So I've had this new nightly routine. I try to make more than just a day and a half or 2 days worth of food. But the way the dogs eat, they've never felt better. They've never looked better. So my night, and then I get caught up, and then once they've eaten all their good food, then they want me to go in and sit with them in the movie room. So then they drape all over me. So I've had this new evening routine that I have not managed. I have to make their food in the morning so I can do the show at night, like I did the other night. So I forgot to put up the Midnight Metal thing that we're doing tonight.
Okay. So, what I'm more excited for is I'm going to be out your way.
I know. I'm very excited.
Yeah.
I'm very excited. And by the way, did you read? You got Max's book, right?
I've got it. I haven't read it yet because I'm debating. I want to send it to Max.
Oh yeah.
If you send it, he'll sign it, and I'm like, but he didn't say where to find. I'm assuming it goes through his publisher, or does he have a PO box?
No, I'll give you.
Okay.
Come on. Yes, I will send it to you. So,
okay.
I mean, you've met the man, and I'll just say, just send it to Barb. You're friends with Barb.
What? If I didn't get her,
I'll get her info.
Yeah. And then let's see what else has gone on. I've been finishing other books, so I did read The Maltese Falcon. I completed Fall of Hyperion. I read Road to Perdition.
Did you read both Hyperions or all four of? Or
just the first two.
Did you like it?
Yes. I thought it was very relevant to today with regards to AI.
Yep.
The first part of Fall of Hyperion just was slow for me. It took me a while. I read it for a bit, and then I set it aside and read other things like The Secret History and all that stuff. So I finished The Secret History as well.
Did you like that?
Intellectually, I liked it, not emotionally.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, no.
I think you love the book. I can see it in your face, and you love the characters. I just did not have the same affection or affinity. I think my favorite character was Francis, or the one I had the most empathy for was Francis. I had an issue with the climax, or the denouement from the climax.
Girls usually do.
Yeah.
So, bad joke.
There was no cuddling afterwards.
Somebody said I tend to say things that people aren't supposed to say online, but what can I say? You were talking about the book, right?
Yes, I'm talking about the book. There was no curiosity. I don't want to give away the ending for those that I would say read it. It is worth your time to go read The Secret History. But there was after the big confrontation, there was no curiosity as to what happened by the authorities. It was just kind of like, and then this. So that was my only big, I don't know, burr.
Yeah, totally.
But I'm curious. I'm curious about the not the goldfinch one, but the little friend.
The little friend.
Little Friend. I read the synopsis for that, and that one seemed interesting.
Yeah, it's not that it's bad. I just didn't. The Goldfinch I thought was really good, but boy, that movie sucked. But
part of it is I spent some of my youth in Mississippi, so
oh yeah,
I think I might have a better affinity for it.
Yes,
so
that makes sense.
Yeah, and let's see what else I've been doing. Last week, was it last week? I went to my local independent cinema and I saw the Stranger with Orson Welles and Jackie Robinson.
Yep.
Yeah, that was.
Wow, that's cool. Did you that did it? I would imagine it was probably a DCP. They projected it.
Yeah. It's in this studio at the local artist colony, and they got 70. I don't know what you call them, like seats from a theater, like not like either an old movie theater or like a playhouse theater.
Yeah.
And they put them. They manufactured their own little risers, and they've got it. I mean, it's a real mom and pop kind of movie theater, or
Well, that's cool.
And it's so for $7, and very cheap concessions. That's where I saw the Godzilla movies on New Year's Eve.
Oh, nice.
It's those guys.
We might be having a 2-night event in Iowa, in Davenport, Iowa, a Max Allen Collins event where in an IMAX theater where we're still hammering out the details. We're going to show the Maltese Falcon.
Oh,
the original version. He's going to talk about Return of the Maltese Falcon, and then the next night we're going to do what I've always wanted to do, which is premiere True Noir in a theater with all the lights turned off. But it's going to be an IMAX theater.
That'd be neat. Okay.
Turn that up, son. Louder.
That's about a day's drive. I could do that.
So yeah, that'll be in Davenport, Iowa, and it's at a museum. It's at the big museum there. Now, none of that is locked in stone. I had a conversation with George Feltenstein at Warner Brothers the other day, who's going to help me because there's nobody to call at the studio. My first job was at Warner Brothers. I made Hills on Red at Warner Brothers. There used to be a switchboard, 654-6000. That's gone. So you can't, I'm like, how do you used to be able to call the switchboard and ask for who you wanted to talk to at the studio. That doesn't exist anymore. So I'm like, how do I, because you can't just show the Maltese Falcon at a public event. You got to do it properly. So on an IMAX theater, you'd have to get a DCP of it. But I'm like, who to call? Now there's only one person at Warner Brothers that would help me out. So I got to see if I can do that.
Great to see you, Major Chai Chai.
By the way, we got to take care the short story competition and your Death Stars. We got to deal with that.
That's right. All right, Rob, I think we have reached 1 p.m. So that's usually the time when we say goodbye to our friends on YouTube. So we will continue the discussion.
We've addressed all
offline.
the super chats and stuff.
We've addressed all the super chats and stuff. Actually, we have one more. Sorry, I forgot to mention it, but it's from our friend in New Zealand, RRTNZ, sends $5. Wish I could stick around, but I'm in the UK and flying out tomorrow morning. Hope everyone's New Year started well and only gets better. Live long and prosper. Great to see you, RRTNZ, and safe travels to you. In the meantime, we'll say goodbye to our friends on the YouTube stream. Rob, any last minute announcements before we say goodbye to our YouTube friends?
No, just that I want to get the short story competition up and running by the end of this month. That's what I'm hoping to do because yeah.
Sounds good. All right. Well,
and by the way, for people that are expecting this from me, I have no interest in Starfleet Academy.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna do it. That I figured that there's nothing I can say that won't be more damning than me not saying anything at all.
Good.
So
have you had a chance to look at any of the episodes? I know that for some folks have received some episodes already up front.
No, I did not go.
No. Okay.
I did not go to I didn't go see it, and I have no interest.
Yeah. Well, read Outer Darkness if you're looking for something that I think would satisfy that same Star Trek bug. So, all right. Well, we will say goodbye to our friends on YouTube, but the chat continues for our members on Zoom. So until next time, thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate all the support and everybody who watches the channel.